I think this is scandalous, and anyone who hears such news would certainly be worried about how far or the extent to which developments in the political arena touching on corruption, touching on money laundering, touching on other issues that touch the very heart of our political dispensation, we will see it, because it's a very big amount of money. And considering the fact that we are going to the IMF for loans and so on, the question is, how do we account for this development? But in any case, it seems to be part of our political practice in the country. Maybe the politicians will deal with that. But for me, in terms of the law, I think the question then is, how do we make sure that this matter doesn't rest where it is? Because we have offices like the Office of the Special Prosecutor. As you rightly said, he can immediately take up the matter based on the powers that he has on his own. SHRAJ cannot. And we also need to look at the Access Declaration regime, its effectiveness in dealing with such matters. We need to look at the Office of the DOCO, Office of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, and whether it also has the power to do so, and whether it has the muscle to do so. So in terms of the law, I think these are the areas that immediately come to mind. And the question is whether we can use law to deal with the matter, or there has to be some other means to tackle the issue. So that would be my issue. Well, as for money, you have the right to keep your money where you want it to be, and everybody also has a right to property. So what you have worked for, what you have earned, is entirely yours, except those that you have to pay as tax. But in this situation, that is why, for example, the Access Declaration regime would be helpful, because you can easily refer to what she deposited when she was appointed as a minister, the records that indicate that she has so much assets, and then you compare that to the amount of money that she has been receiving as a minister or as a member of parliament or as both. And then you can easily draw the line and do the deductions and conclude that so much money could not have been acquired through legitimate means. Of course, the law also talks about gifts and so on. So you need to look at all of that. And then you conclude if the money, the excess that is not accounted for, can be legitimate money, or whether it came in through illicit means, which therefore suggests money laundering issues, brings that issue into the picture. And so keeping money in your home is not wrong, but what money is it? And what is the money being used for? Because according to the facts, the money has been there for some time, and the people have been siphoning it off. And they thought that they had also hit a jackpot, so they continued to do that. And they couldn't even recognize that the money was being siphoned off. And so that tells you that there's more to it than meets the eye.
Okay. What will be your preliminary